In the 1980s, devotees of cult leader Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh seized political control of a small town near their ranch in Oregon. Then they set their sights on taking over the county government. To help them win the next election, the cult recruited homeless people from across the country.
They brought literally thousands of people in, and the idea was that they were going to register them to vote. And it was pretty much open warfare from then on a certain level.
Unknown to the people in town, the cult had a more sinister part of their plan. 2 months before Election Day, they found their target: local restaurants.
I think it was on a Monday evening. We came down here to the recreation restaurant for dinner. You know, had a salad bar and a steak of some sort, and returned home not thinking much about it.
Within days, a family member became violently ill. Shortly afterward, so did Bob Bailey.
I felt pretty good that morning, but by 10 o'clock or so I had chills, fever. By that evening I was really ill and had to be taken in. I couldn't even walk out to the car.
They weren't the only ones. Diners who'd eaten at 10 other restaurants were all falling ill. In a week, 750 people all became gravely sick. 45 of them were hospitalized.
It was everything from small children to elderly people and everything in between.
They had all been infected with salmonella. Salmonella is a kind of bacteria that infects thousands of Americans every year, but is not usually lethal. The simple act of cooking destroys it, as it does other germs. Cult members made it a weapon by putting it in food that couldn't be cooked. Salad dressing, coffee creamer.
They apparently had a liquid in little vials, and they were putting the poison into the salad bars, into the dressing.
Eventually, authorities raided the cult compound and found an identical strain of salmonella in a medical lab. According to later testimony, the poisonings had been a trial run for a wider assault planned to keep voters home on Election Day. Though the cult failed to steal the local election and ultimately dissolved, the attack changed the community.
Things were incredibly paranoid, and I remember at the time people saying, we feel like we can't go out safely to eat anywhere, we feel like we can't go out safely.
For some, the incident proves that any part of your nation is vulnerable.
If this group could do it in a little town out in the desert in eastern Oregon, it could happen anywhere, I think.